I have been talking about Brexit for a while now, and I've always pointed out the fact that Brexit will be bad for the average UK citizen. Their freedom to live and work in other parts of Europe will be limited. The standard of the products they buy will be diminished, and the protections to the environment around them will decrease in post-Brexit Britain. While Brexit will be terrible for most people, it will be a bloody bonanza for some. We've all read about how the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg is planning to profit from the devaluing of the pound and Brexit in general. Others are already making millions on the backs of Brexit. The government has spent £450 million on fees to consultants over the last 3 years. Delight is one example. This firm, which has become synonymous with the testing shambles during the pandemic, has been the biggest winner. It earned £147 million in fees paid out by the taxpayer in the period of 2019-2020. This was a jump from £40 million 2 years earlier. Most of these fees are coming in thanks to Brexit planning. The Home Office saw the biggest increase in fees for consultants over the last 3 years, rising a massive 788% to £57 million, as the department dealt with security, immigration and border preparations for leaving the EU. Remember, this is consulting fees, not staff hired to do work or infrastructure to prepare for Brexit. These are consultancy fees. So how much do these consultants actually cost for the work done? According to the research carried out by the data provider To Sell, a management consultant working for the public sector earns on average £1,000 per day. This rises to £3,500 per day for partners. So you're probably asking yourself, why are government departments spending so much money on consultancy firms, and why these particular ones? Due to stricter anti-corruption laws, companies can't just hand over envelopes filled with cash to government ministers to win contracts. Not that that never happens, but where there's a will, there's a way. Consultancy firms like, for example, KPMG, have over the years offered jobs to senior figures who have left their position at the Ministry of Defence. These senior people then go on to become paid advisors to these private companies. A prominent example is Air Marshal Sir Simon Bolam, who held a very senior role in the Department of Defence. He left his job at the department in 2016 and soon after advised KPMG Consultancy on RAF Braze Northern. He's now back in the Ministry of Defence as Chief Executive of Defence Equipment and Support. So now that he's back working for the government, who do you think he's advising the government to hire for consultancy contracts? I wonder. But senior people in government jobs don't even need to quit one job to be hired for another. In August this year, former Chancellor of the Exchequer Sajid Javid, remember that guy? Well, he began a paid role as a senior advisor to JP Morgan Chase, the multinational investment bank. He joined the bank's Europe, Middle East and Africa Advisory Council. Do you see how corruption works now? Boris Johnson is promoting the private sector as an alternative to government actually doing its job. This has been going on for years. However, recently the attempts to hide this from the public have been completely thrown out of the window. You have the likes of Matt Hancock, the Health Secretary, praising private companies even when they mess up. You have the Prime Minister Boris Johnson thanking for-profit organisations for the great work they've done in the fight against the pandemic. When this Brexit mess begins to bite and the government say, "We're sorry, we need to introduce austerity 2.0, remember they're making you pay for their corruption. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?